Good morning, students. How are you? Great and fine. I hope you are all fine. Thank you so much. Please, I need your attention now. This is our first online course, so I need your attention, please. And let's go ahead. So, as you can see from the title, it's about informative writing. So, our lesson is about writing, exactly informative writing, how to write an informative essay about a famous person, as you can see from the given title. Good. So please, as we usually do, we have to start with a definition, defining what we mean, or defining what we call the informative writing. So generally speaking, as you can see, we call an informative writing a writing in which we describe a person, describe a given situation. As you can see, first of all, we call a given or an informative writing a writing in which we describe a person. Second of all, the writing in which we describe a given situation, accident and so on and so forth, for example, wedding party, concert, or a writing in which we give information about famous person. This is what we are going to see today, as you can see, and this is our lesson for today, how to give information about famous or about famous people. All right, good. You are given a second step. You are given here a note. Please read it carefully. If the person, listen carefully, since we are, as I said, since we are going to write about a famous people, a famous person, if the person you are writing about is dead, you should use the past tense. Listen carefully. If the person you are writing about is dead, you have to use the past tense, okay? But if he or she is still alive, you should use the present tense. It's quite clear, all right? Good. Now, if you want to write an essay in which we give information about famous people, we should follow the plan below. As you know, for any writing, there should be, or there is a plan, a specific plan which we have to follow. Okay, starting with the introduction now, as you can see, the introduction, the first step. What should we write in the introduction? Start your introduction by a general statement telling the reader about the importance of some people all over the world. If I want to write this informative essay about a famous person, I should start it with a general statement, saying or telling the reader, or telling me as a reader, that there are many famous people, for example, all over the world who contributed. There are many people or famous people who contributed to the humanity, for example. All right. Second step, then you state the example of the person whom you want to write about. Then you state, look carefully, and then you state the example of the person whom you want to write about. Don't write other information about him or her. So first step, I write a general statement to introduce my topic, which is an informative writing about famous person. Then I should include an example. I should include the example of the person who is in front of me. For example, during the exam day, it will be given that you have to write about a person, for example, I don't know, about Rosa Parks, for example, or about, for example, Henry Ford. After writing the general statement, after writing the general statement, you have to include the person you are writing about. Then you state the example of the person whom you want to write about. Don't write other information. Look, this is between brackets. Don't write other information about him or her. Leave the details for the body. Don't write the details in front of you. You know that when you have an exam, for example, to write about a famous person, you will be given some information inside the box. Don't write this information. Don't write any of the given information in the introduction. Leave the information to the body, to the main part, the next step in here. Okay? So, let's continue with the introduction. You can end the introduction by saying, for example, now let us see more information about. I mean, if you want to end your introduction, there should be a last sentence saying, for example, now let us see more information about, for example, this person, about Henry Ford. Okay, or why don't we see what he or she is or was famous for? As I said, if the person you are writing about is dead, you have to write with the past tense, was famous for. let us see what he was or she was famous for. But if he is still alive, you just use the present simple like this one. He is or she is famous for. All right, it's as simple as such. Okay, thank you so much. Fine. The second step now, which is the main part in which you will write all details. Look carefully and listen, please. In the main part, which is the second step of the essay, write all details about the person. Usually, during the exam day, as I said, some information about the famous person are written in a box to help you. But you have to expand on your essay with your own way. Good. In the main part, you will write all details about this person, whether he is alive or dead, whether she or he, I mean, a man or a woman, okay? So, write all details about him or her. I mean, all details from the box. But don't stick only to these details. You have to expand on your essay with your own way. Try to make it more exciting. Try to make your writing more exciting, all right? You know that you have to write at least 100 words, at least 100 words during the exam day. So that's why we have to expand more on your essay with your own style, okay? With your own style. Good. Now, the second step or the second details of the main part, so what should we do? So the main part comprises 1 or 2 paragraphs in which you write the information from the box, as I said, except the date of his or her death. This is very important. Write all details about this person except the date of his or her death. You will leave the date of death to the conclusion. Please don't write it. All right? Good. And try to write all the details from your own, as I said. Thank you. Okay. So it's quite clear. In the main part, you will write 1 or 2 paragraphs. It's not, it's up to you, 1 or 2 paragraphs, including all information from the box except the date of death. All right, except the date of death. And try, as I said again, try to expand on your essay with your own style, with your own information or other details you know. Okay, good. In the conclusion now, which is the last step of every essay, the conclusion. Start your conclusion by using one of these expressions. If I want to start or to write my conclusion, I should start with breath, finally, at the end, eventually, as you can see. These are different or various expressions we use to start our conclusion. At the end, finally, to end, to conclude, and so on and so forth. You start with and then mention his or her date of death if not alive. If he or she is dead, as I said, you can mention his date of death or her date of death. Okay. If he's still alive, if he or she is still alive, okay, you can just give your opinion about this person. Give your opinion about this person. Did you like him, her? Did you like what he or she is or was famous for? And so on and so forth. All right. So it's quite clear. If the person is dead, or you just mention his date or her date of death and give your opinion about him or her. But if he is or she is still alive, you just give your opinion about him and so on, or about her, and that's it. Okay, did you like him? Did you love him? Did you like her? Did you love her? How did you find her? For example, I don't know what what he or she is doing. How did you find it? Exciting, not exciting, very important? For example, did he or she contributed really to the society? Something like that. All right. So I hope you've understood the lesson. Please, it's quite clear and easy. Don't complicate the issue. All right. And if you have any question, please, you can contact me. No problem about that. All right. Now, let's move to another step, which is the layout of your essay. If I want to write, when we say the layout, I mean the shape of your page. How will you write your essay? You will have to follow, as you can see, you have to follow a certain layout, a certain design of your essay. So starting with the introduction, as you can see, there's a space in here. I left a space, as you can see, and I start my introduction. 4 to 3 lines, as you can see. All right, this is how to write the introduction. The main part, the second step, it's the same. Keep the same level of spacing. Keep the same level of spacing. Here, I left the first line of the introduction, I left the space. It's the same for the main part. You left the space. If you are you leave a space, sorry. If you are writing one paragraph, you just leave one space only. As you can see, this is one paragraph for the main part. If you are writing 2 paragraphs, for example, you just leave the same space for the second paragraph. All right, it's quite clear. Sorry, please. All right. Suppose, okay, this is one paragraph for the main part. As you can see, I just wrote one paragraph in here. All right. If you want to divide this paragraph into 2, you have, for example, this is the first paragraph, for example, and there should be another paragraph in here. You have to leave this space exactly as the same as the first one. So you keep the same level as the first paragraph and as the introduction also. Keep the same level. All right. The last step is the conclusion. As you can see, also again, I leave a space in here. I leave a space for the first line and I write my conclusion. All right, as you can see. Before I forget, please, there should be a line between the introduction and the main part. It's very important. There should be a line here between, you skip a line between the introduction and the main part, and you skip another line between the main part and the conclusion. So we skip lines in two times only, between the introduction and the main part, and between the main part and the conclusion. All right, this is very important for the layout of your essay. All right, dears, I hope you've understood the lesson, and if you have any question, please feel free to contact me, and I will be free all the day to help you. All right, I will be free all the day, the whole day, to help you. Thank you so much.